Sophie Cunningham did not just go viral for hitting massive three-pointers. She went viral because she turned a professional basketball court into a fortress, actively blocking, sealing off, and physically clearing space against anyone who dared to pressure.
Boom, bro. Boom! Just completely look at Breanna Stewart's face.
Lynch, she did not fail. She took it in and started fighting. However, another person was seeing that video. Someone far more powerful than a referee, a timeline on Twitter, or a viral.
And now she's throwing up her hands. She's throwing up her hands like she ain't just damn me. Boom! Lead forward and assault Sophie Cunningham, bro. Dirty fucking play there. That was a dirty play.
Cathy Englebert, the commissioner of the WNBA, has viewed the video and reports from several people with knowledge of league operations. She is not content.
Look at this damn flop. She threw her arms up and everything.
Pretending nothing had happened, Breanna Stewart was raising her hands. A file was already being opened by the league administration. There are now rumors that Cathy Englebert is actively thinking about suspending Breanna Stewart for 5 games. The New York Liberty's championship window will not be the only thing harmed by that suspension. As the 2025 season approaches, it will drastically alter the entire WNBA power structure. However, no one is connecting to this. One elbow is not the only issue here. This goes beyond a single Barclays Center preseason game. This has to do with a pattern. This has to do with a message. This concerns whether the WNBA is at last prepared to safeguard its most important asset, not just on the court, but also in the boardroom, record books, and ratings. Before we discuss Cathy Englebert and 5-game punishments, let us dissect everything. We must return to the Barclays Center on Saturday afternoon before discussing the implications of this for the Liberty's aspirations to become a dynasty. Because the mainstream broadcast did not tell the whole story, there were many cameras. The announcers were informed. Additionally, the public was shown the intense physicality taking place on that court as though it were a typical WNBA game.
Let me the sound because it got copyright music.
The clip that went viral on the internet was that fan footage. That uncut, unedited, sidewalk-level camera footage taken by a spectator at the Barclays Center. That is the video that league officials are now viewing, trending for all the wrong reasons because of that footage. This is a frame-by-frame breakdown of what transpired. A preseason match between the Indiana Fever and the New York Liberty had the intensity of a regular season contest, intention of trying to beat the Fever. They intended to make it tangible. It was also effective. The Liberty defenders were hand-checking for the time being every time they swallowed. Even the most forgiving referee in the building could not completely ignore the brutality at one very precise, biomechanically intentional point. Breanna Stewart is a 2-time WNBA champion and past MVP. She did not set a screen or take a position. Instead, she walked straight into Sophie Cunningham's path. She threw her upper body forward, pulled her arm away from her chest, and struck Sophie Cunningham squarely in the chest with her elbow. This preseason, you will witness the most blatant display of basketball theatrics. She glanced straight at the referee and instantly raised her hands as Sophie Cunningham entered a...
So this is a slow motion version of it. So as you guys can see here, just look at it. Boom, bro. Boom!
The slow-motion biomechanics of that play. Stewart's feet are not in the arch. She is not motionless. Her body weight is physically projected forward. She is not preparing to make contact. She stretches her arm out from her body. She is not defending herself. She is taking the lead. The attacker is her. And the same thing is being seen by league authorities who are currently watching that video. This is when the tale turns from controversy to something the WNBA has not seen in a long time. Sophie Cunningham did not go to the bench after taking an elbow from Breanna Stewart. She avoided glancing at her coach. She did not give the training crew away. She straightened herself, returned to her defensive position, and proceeded to cause every single New York Liberty player great discomfort for the remainder of that basketball game because Breanna Stewart seemed to forget what Sophie Cunningham realized at that precise time. 2 years ago, the Indiana Fever were a different team. You cannot intimidate this team. They are not a group that silently absorbs physicality. They are a true team, complete with an enforcer.
She was setting massive, uncompromising screens that sent a clear message. She was physically shoving defenders away from Clark with a level of raw, unfiltered aggression that you rarely see in modern basketball.
Specifically, one sequence. The lane is driven by Caitlin Clark. A Liberty defender is rapidly approaching from the blind side, aiming for a forceful collision. And, like a freight train, Sophie Cunningham rushes in from the weak side. She does not prod the defender. She does not give her a tap. The Liberty defender entirely ignores her because she sets a screen that is so powerful, so well-timed, and so unyielding.
Sophie ain't flopped. She immediately, Breanna Stewart a big gal. Look, she ain't throw her hands up.
Cunningham did not raise her hands. She did not fall apart in a big way. She did not give the referee the beseeching look that asks, "Did you notice that?" She carried out the actions of enforcers. She stiffened her body, grounded her feet, performed her duties, and went on to the next performance. The visual evidence that has made its way to league headquarters is precisely that contrast, that sharp, indisputable, side-by-side difference between how Sophie Cunningham and the New York Liberty handled contact on Saturday. Additionally, Cathy Englebert's decision is being made much easier by the visual proof. Without knowing what was at stake on Saturday afternoon, it is impossible to completely comprehend the significance of the possible suspension news. So, let us discuss what Sophie Cunningham actually means to this Indiana Hoosiers team, both statistically and culturally. After 9 months of MCL therapy, Sophie Cunningham made her comeback. If you have ever recovered from a severe knee injury, you are aware of how physically and psychologically taxing it is. The moments at 3 in the morning when you truly do not know if your knee will ever feel the same way again. The uncertainty and the setbacks. She returned. She agreed to a $665,000 one-year contract. She could have chosen a lighter role, an easier route, or more money elsewhere, because she wanted to be precisely where she was on Saturday afternoon at the Barclays Center. Standing between Caitlin Clark and anyone who wanted to challenge her, she signed with a fever.
She went a highly efficient 5 of 8 from the field, scored 13 critical points, and finished with a staggering +8 rating in the box score.
After undergoing extensive knee surgery, he scored 13 points from the field and received an 8th rating in a preseason game, while also serving as the building's most physically intimidating screen set. Not only did the Indiana Fever regain its enforcer on Saturday, every team on their schedule received a message in high definition, slow motion, and viral fan film. This season, you will have to deal with Sophie Cunningham if you touch Caitlin Clark. Sophie Cunningham is more than prepared to handle you based on her performance on Saturday. Let us now discuss the aspect of this narrative that is not covered by the mainstream basketball media. Do you really believe Cathy Englebert was unaware of that? Let us discuss the particular reports that are currently coming to light. Is reportedly aggressively going over the video from Saturday's Fever Liberty game, according to several people with knowledge of league operations. These reports also state that the league is treating the issue seriously. Taking the issue seriously is more than simply a publicity stunt, to use commissioner terminology. It is a declaration of procedure. It indicates that the video has undergone official evaluation. It indicates that the official reports have been removed. It indicates that the play's biomechanical breakdown has been examined. Additionally, it indicates that a disciplinary judgment is being actively developed with a 5-game circulation of the precise number. Take a moment to consider that. Breanna Stewart has 5 games to put things in perspective. A 5-game suspension for the New York Liberty at the beginning of the 2025 regular season would be disastrous for their entire championship architecture, not just their win-loss record. The basketball reality of a Breanna Stewart ban is far more complicated than simply the Liberty losing their best player for 5 games. So let us examine it. The New York Liberty's offensive scheme revolves around Breanna Stewart. Sabrina Ionescu's driving lanes are created by her spacing threat. She is the high post hub that causes the ball to move. The Liberty relies on her as their second unit anchor to keep leads. She serves as the franchise's functional glue. The Liberty's starting 5 loses its mathematical identity without her on the floor. When playing Ionescu, teams can compress the paint. Everything on the periphery is switchable. They can eliminate the motion offense and challenge the Liberty to defeat them alone. The Liberty are more than just an inferior team when Breanna Stewart misses 5 games. This squad operates with a fully shattered plan and is structurally distinct. The layer that makes this even more significant is as follows. The Fever is not waiting for this suspension to end. They are constructing. They are changing. Sophie Cunningham was added back to full health. They have a physique that has been specially prepared to handle WNBA physicality, a game that has clearly grown in every way. And Caitlin Clark, who is starting her second WNBA season with a year of professional experience under her belt.